One of the great things about Manchester is just discovering it on foot. It's really small enough and manageable enough so you can have a walk around, and there's so many interesting things to see. You can see the history of Manchester in all sorts of architecture, from the Industrial Revolution right through to the present day. So just get out there, have a walk and discover Manchester. It's really interesting. I'm here in Sackville Gardens, which is just outside the gay village, and we're next to a statue of Alan Turing, who was one of Manchester's most famous lesbian and gay sons. Alan is known as the father of modern computer science, and he helped break the Enigma code used by the Nazis in the Second World War. Unfortunately, he was persecuted due to his homosexuality, and he took his own life by injecting cyanide into an apple and eating it. There are many people within the computer industry who feel that this is the reason that Apple used it as their logo. We hope it's true because we think it would be a fitting tribute to a genius and a wonderful man. So I'm here right in the centre of Manchester on Albert Square. If you look around me, you can see the beautiful architecture of Manchester. It's really impressive, really lovely place. Perhaps the most noticeable thing, though, is very small. We're right outside the town hall here, and they've got the gay and lesbian rainbow flag set right on the pavement, right outside the town hall.
It's always got a big lobby flag.
We're inside Manchester's Town Hall, and we're by a plaque here which specifically commemorates a rally that took place in the square outside. It was attended by 20,000 people who were protesting against Section 28, which was some anti-gay legislation which went through Parliament. And the plaque is here. It's here to commemorate all of those that came and opposed this anti-gay legislation. So quite impressive in the Town Hall. I'm here with Sibby, who's an official guide for Manchester, and we're about to do the gay and lesbian rainbow guided tour, which happens once a month. So, Sibby, so if you could tell us the name of the walk and that we're going on now, which is a gay history walk around Manchester.
It's called Over the Rainbow Gay Manchester, although it does cover the whole LGBT history of the city, but that was a bit of a long phrase to get in the title of the walk, so that's why we called it. Bit short and succinct, so that's what you need to look for when you want the details. Last Sunday of each month we do this walk. It lasts about an hour and a half, and not many people realise Manchester has actually got a gay and lesbian history. It goes back nearly 200 years. People think it's, Coronation Street, it's about Cottonopolis, it's about Manchester United, but there is another part of the city that is really interesting historically, and we cover that. And it's not all just about the gay village either. We go all across the city. There's lots of other stories to tell.
That's one thing we found, that Manchester's not just about the village. There's so much more, and it's very accessible as well if you're walking around.
It is. I mean, the city is really easy to walk across. You can walk from one side to another in about 25 minutes, half an hour. Back to Victorian times, we've got stories to tell of people that were gay and lesbian.
And if people want to take the tour, how can they book onto it?
You can actually just turn up, but you can always look on the Visit Manchester website. They're all listed on there, and they are every single month. And we always, no matter rain or shine, usually sunshine in Manchester, we always run the tour. So you can book, you can get in contact with us, an email from the website, but it's absolutely fine.
Okay, well, let's go and have a look at Manchester.
Was where Noel Coward stayed, and what people don't realise is that Noel Coward's a very famous playwright who was quite open. He was fairly openly gay. His partner used to be in lots of his reviews, and he used to come up to Manchester, stay in this hotel, and they had tryouts around in this area in a lot of the theatres in Manchester. So two of his most famous songs are Mad About the Boy, which most people know, and Mad Dog's an Englishman, and they were first tried out in Manchester at the Opera House. So here we've got Minshull Street Courts, built in 1873, and this is where gay men would have been prosecuted. They were the police courts. And ironically, these courts look straight down Canal Street. And this is the centre of the gay village on Canal Street. Extremely ironic that they were prosecuted here, and nowadays everybody parties down the street. And this is really the centre of the gay village, although it does spread further back. There's quite a few reasons why the village evolved. One of them was, we talked earlier about the political movement in Manchester, that gay and lesbian people did come together and start campaigning for things, and the Manchester Council supported them. Also, a bit of a cafe culture started in Manchester in the 1990s. It actually started on Canal Street with a bar called Manto that we're going to see in a while. It's called Manto because it's named Manchester Tomorrow, and it was forward thinking. The final thing that really made the village big was Queer as Folk. When that was on telly in 1999, written by Russell T Davies, it became famous. It was as seen on telly, like Coronation Street, the gay village, and it looked wonderful. It looked like a fairyland, the way they lit it and everything. Lots of people came to see it, and that was a big boom time where people started investing and opening other bars and stuff. There you go.
I'm outside the New Union Hotel, which is right at the start of Canal Street. It's actually really interesting that this place is still here. It was actually a gay pub in the 40s and 50s, so it's really where gay Manchester really started. It's really quite poignant that gay Manchester's returned here to Canal Street. Feels like this is where it belongs, really. And it's nice to see the New Union still going, even if the music choice is a little dodgy. So when you're planning your trip to Manchester, a top tip is to get hold of the MCR magazine, which is published for free by Marketing Manchester. You can get a free copy posted direct to you by simply going onto the website visitmanchester.com.